You're in part 2 of my Wait to Date series. If you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them.
I think one of the big dangers of starting to date in that first year after divorce is you are extremely vulnerable to really anybody saying they are anybody. You are susceptible to big fat liars. The thing is, especially in how we are meeting people today, a lot of it starts online. You can be anybody online. For another time, I will share some dating advice beyond the waiting. This is the waiting advice. And there'll be another episode for the dating advice, things that I learned, some of them the hard way. People can pretend to be anybody. And just because you meet them and they do look like their profile photo doesn't mean you have any clue who that person is. It can be dangerous, honestly. And so you really need to vet people. More on that in that dating episode. Taking this time for you is critical and will pay off huge for a future relationship that you may find yourself in. That person, the one that you really want to get to, it'll be worth the wait because you will have done the hard work on yourself so that when you go into this new relationship, you're actually healthy. You're like mentally, emotionally, psychologically in a healthy place where you're not just taking, I need somebody to fill this empty place inside of me. You are in a place of being able to give to another individual, a place of health and wisdom from what you've walked through and what you've allowed yourself to learn during your year of empowerment. In fact, that's what we're going to call it, friends. We're going to call it our year of empowerment because that's exactly what it can be for you. During this process is when you really learn to reclaim your authentic voice in all kinds of situations, in your work situation, if you have children, with your children, with your extended family, your parents or siblings, co-workers, girlfriends, new friendships you're building, old friendships that you still are maintaining from when you were married. Through this, you're going to learn how to set boundaries, discover so much about who you are. And you'll probably find yourself going, at least I found myself going, why do I do that way? Oh, because that's how somebody else did it, or that's how somebody else wanted me to do that. I don't even like that. I don't like watching those kind of shows. I like watching these kind of shows. And it doesn't mean that it's all about just doing what you want to do, but discover who you are. And then when you're in that relationship with somebody and you're ready, then you bring your full self into it. It's not this, well, who do you want me to be? What am I supposed to look like so that you'll like me? You will come to a place where you really like you. You are more than okay with you and enjoy just being by yourself. That is a powerful place. I have such good memories of the 5 years that I was single. The first year that I was single, I lived with family when I was getting my feet under me and figuring out what I'm doing and really to heal from all the trauma that I felt. That was wonderful. Then when I moved into my own place, this was a huge thing for me to get comfortable living by myself. And so to move into my own place and hear all the sounds at night and be afraid, that was a big deal to get over. I learned to be comfortable by myself, go do things by myself. I always felt like, oh, I'll be embarrassed because everybody will know I'm alone. Yeah, okay. But I'm whole by myself because I've got this work that I'm doing inside that's helping me discover who I am. And I've got this amazing relationship with Jesus Christ. So I'm never alone. I never go anywhere alone. Wow, what an empowering year in so many ways. Some people are going to come out of a divorce and be like, I don't ever want to get married again. All done. That's great. That will be the path for some. But many are going to want to get married again and doing it in a way that brings about your best future self. Value yourself to that level. Think that highly of yourself. I know it sounds daunting when you think a year. Oh my gosh. It will go by quickly because you've got a lot of milestones you're going to be hitting throughout. You got to feel the feels, the tears, the laughter, the things that you find hilarious that you didn't really get to enjoy and maybe were mocked for. You get to reclaim that. Fear, dealing with the fears of how am I going to support myself? How am I going to live by myself? This is scary. How am I going to do all these things? Freedom, the freedom of I'm going to go see a movie tonight. I can be by myself and enjoy my own company. Or I can call my girlfriends and we can go get dinner together. Or I can go away for the weekend with friends. Choice. Maybe you had very little choice in things. And now you got to make all the choices, which can be wonderful and overwhelming. Learn how to navigate that. Anger, that's a biggie. There can be a lot of hidden anger with what we put up with, lived in. And wouldn't it be better to learn how to process that, perhaps with a counselor? I'm telling you, if you find a good counselor, therapist, they are worth their weight in gold. And whew, I'm loving the one I have. She is amazing. But processing that anger so you don't end up carrying that into your next relationship. You don't want to do that. Regret, that's a real thing. And that can be an ongoing thing that you'll have to deal with. Regretting, why did I marry this person? Why did I stay so long? Why did I let them treat me this way? A lot of what ifs and whys. And this is a season where you can really allow yourself to feel that regret, but move forward and not live in regret. I think it's important to feel it and be able to voice it, but how do you move forward so that you don't carry that the rest of your life? Celebration. You are going to be celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear brave one. Happy birthday to you. You're going to have a birthday and you're probably going to feel weird about it because you've always had it with this person. So maybe you look ahead and you say, that day's coming and I'm going to make a plan now to make it special. I'm going to surround myself with my favorite people. Maybe I'm going to throw myself a birthday party. Maybe I'm going to pick my one closest friend and go out to a lovely dinner. Maybe it's gather your girlfriends, have a birthday weekend getaway, but learning to have those celebrations in this new life is super important. And life is worth celebrating. Awkwardness. All of a sudden you're single and you've always identified in the married groups, the couples, and now you're that single person that feels singled out. It's awkward. Lean into the awkward and just let it be. New normal for you. That's everything. Everything has changed. You're establishing these new normals. Now, those can change too. In another year, you might meet somebody, that another single friend, you might decide we're going to get a place together. All kinds of things could happen in your new normal, but learning to make those adjustments. Your children, if you have littles and you've gone through a divorce, there's shared custody perhaps. And how is that going to look? How are your kids coping with it? If you have older kids, that has a whole different aspect to deal with. How are you going to navigate those relationships and the dynamics when they're either close to adults or they are adults at the time that you've gone through a divorce? And so those are things to look at. Your extended family. Maybe you became isolated from them and you're trying to reestablish relationships. During this first year, do you really want to take all of your time and energy and put it into trying to build a relationship that quickly with somebody? Or do you want to invest that in your extended family, the people that maybe you just haven't been able to put the time in? Maybe that wasn't encouraged. And now you have this opportunity to pour into those relationships. Oh, here's one. during this first year, getting used to the fact that you no longer have traditions, most likely with his family. And if a lot of holidays or special occasions involved them, you might not be welcome back there and you may not want to go. And you may maintain relationship with some of those people. It's great when you can do that. That's not always possible, but that's going to be a new normal to get used to. Maybe you were a stay-at-home mom and now you're going to have to look for a job and go back to work. And that can be terrifying. It was terrifying to me. And I will be sharing about that process of what it looked like for me to go back to work and some things I learned along that journey in another episode. You'll probably have a new schedule with your kids because there's probably going to be shared custody. That's something to get used to. So the bottom line is, here's what I wrote. Bottom line, honey, you don't have time for a dude right now. And it's really true. You don't. There's so much to be done in this first year of empowerment. Take it and just get everything you can out of it so that your future self is the best, healthiest version of you to take into a potential new relationship or to remain the amazing queen that you are all by yourself. So this is a year to reclaim some things: your identity, your emotional wholeness, your physical health, prioritizing taking care of yourself. Do I need to be taking supplements? Do I need to change my eating habits? Am I eating breakfast in the morning? Am I getting those meals in? Am I getting enough protein? Am I exercising? Am I moving, walking? Find some kind of activity that you love to do and get moving. This is your year to really dig in and discover yourself again. This is also an opportunity to know God in a close relationship like you've never had with him before, because it's kind of like it's just you and him for this season. I have precious memories of my time with God alone, things that he would show me, revelation from the Word of God. I mean, my Bible, highlight. Oh my goodness, look what he's showing me that I never saw this scripture in this light because I've never been in this season before. Really special time in building a trust with God, even beyond what I had developed in my very difficult marriage. Now it's you and me, God. And I'm trusting you for my future, all my needs, all my wants, and that you're going to sift out the wants that shouldn't be there. Thus, waiting for a year to date because I wanted to, and it would not have served me well. And yes, you get to choose what you're going to do. I just hope I've given you some food for thought, some things to think about, and maybe just pushing off that dating a little longer. I would love to know if any of you have waited a year and how that helped you. And if any of you are like, well, I wasn't going to wait a year, but I'm going to do that. Send me a little message. Let me know you're going to do that. And I would love to encourage you in that as I can. I think that it is such an investment in you. I can promise you this. It will not be time wasted. One last thing on this that I do want to share. I know women who've gone through divorce and have waited a year like me, and not one of them has ever said, man, worst decision ever. Do I ever regret that? I let the good one get away. Mr. Right was there, and now I'm with Mr. Wrong. I've never heard that. I have heard women that I know that have chosen not to wait that year, and they have regretted it. They have been hurt. If you have children, that's a whole nother consideration of how that dating relationship could affect the children. If your kids get attached to this guy and you're really not ready to be in a relationship, and let's say it doesn't work out, it implodes, Then you've got even more devastation to your children who have just walked through the devastation of the divorce in your family. If you have children who are of an age where they're home, bringing dating in too early can really affect them deeply. And so I would just encourage you. You're stronger than you think, and you are worth so much more. Aren't you worth the gift of a year for yourself? I think you are. I just hope you think you are. Thanks for being with me today on Validated Podcast. I'm so glad you took some time with me. I hope this was valuable to you. If you haven't already subscribed, I encourage you, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode.
Just a reminder, I'm not a licensed therapist or medical professional. This podcast shares my personal experiences and perspectives for educational support, not professional advice. Identifying details have been changed for privacy. If you need help, contact a licensed mental health professional, trusted support, or crisis hotline. Full disclaimer is in the description.